Hello everyone, Artemu the Violet Wizard here, and today we are continuing Chrono Trigger. Last time, we witnessed the fall of the Reptites, as well as the arrival of Lavos in Prehistory. And in the process, we have gained access to a new time period that we previously had not been able to access. So we're definitely getting pretty far into our adventure now. At this point, we are definitely in the second half of the game. And believe me when I say we still have a lot to go through at the moment. So, for the time being, I thought it would be good to bring Misty and Luke in the party, just because at this point, they are the closest to getting their techs compared to everyone else. But we'll try to bring in a couple more people depending on how things go. I'm not really expecting this to be a very combat-heavy part of the game, but we'll see how things go. So, now that we have accessed a new time gate, we can head to the Earthbound Isle in the year 12,000 BC. It's a time somewhere between prehistory and the Middle Ages. And as you can see, this whole continent is just covered in ice and snow. There's this roaring blizzard. And doesn't appear to be any settlements around here. Except for this area, the Skyway. So, how about we see what we can find here? Whee! Well, this certainly looks a lot nicer compared to where we were at before. So welcome to a whole new area. Let's start off by heading into Enhasa. Welcome to Enhasa, Zeal's City of Dreams. We seek enlightenment within the bliss of sleep. You are not of us, are you? Ah! That book's on fire! So yeah, welcome to a whole new land. One that is very unique compared to everything we've seen before. This is the magic kingdom of Zeal, where dreams can be made reality. But nothing in this world comes free. There is always a price to be paid. So that creature we talked to has the very same appearance as Masa and Mune, who we previously encountered in the Middle Ages. So kind of getting to see some origin on some of the characters we've encountered before. You're most unusual visitors. Am I waking, or is this but a continuation of my dream? Regardless of that, I welcome you to Zeal. Her Majesty Queen Zeal rules this magic kingdom. She is without peer in beauty or grace. So now we know just what this land is about. We have this mysterious kingdom called Zeal. We owe our prosperity to Her Majesty the Queen. After the king died, she encouraged the development of our kingdom's magical prowess, which has led to great advancements. We'll probably get to meet this queen at some point. The world you see with your eyes may well differ completely from the one I see with mine. There are as many different worlds as there are observers. Never assume that only those things which you can see or touch are real. Very cryptic there. Do you believe in such things as fate? Make it possible our lives are predetermined. Well, I think that's ridiculous.
Yes, it is, isn't it? We are the masters of our own destinies. Speaking of which, I believe there may be a doorway of destiny in this very place.
Truths exist in dreams. The world exists in me. Oh, and that book and that water sprays out of it. Very unusual. So definitely want to explore this area as thoroughly as we can. The city of Kajar, the high seat of magical research, lies on the edge of the western continent. The airship, the Blackbird, is maintained there as well. Might want to look into that a bit later. So want to head over this way next. The Queen has sealed away the great elemental weapons and armors, forged with the power of the sun in the shrine to the north. You can see its entrance on the northern continent, but no one's allowed inside it now. get a little glimpse to that area. I am Doreen. Seek the hidden path and open the doors of knowledge, each in turn. The door to the Northern Shrine is sealed by a powerful force. Even we, the enlightened ones, lack the means to open it. Welcome. Have you come to do business? So over here we have an opportunity to buy some more stuff. At this current point, I think we could buy a couple more potions. Like, we have plenty of money at this point. Let's buy about $300 worth of potions. Yeah, those are so cheap. Might as well do that. And this is the earliest point where we can now buy high potions, which are definitely going to be helpful. They restore 500 HP, which is more than most of our party have at this point. So we'll go ahead and buy a couple of those. Don't need any more Panacea, and let's buy a few more Athenian water. Can also buy some Ethers here. I think I'm going to hold off on that. We already have plenty of MP restoring items. And let's look at some of the things that we can sell. So we definitely got rid of a bunch of weapons that we're not going to be needing at this point. So let's go ahead and sell a bunch of these. And I don't think we're going to need any more stone helms going forward. In terms of other stuff to equip, yeah, we'll hold off on that for now. But yeah, definitely a nice shop we can access here. So I want to look into our equipment here. So yeah, we got a few things that would be nice to equip to our party here. Yeah, you can definitely take the Mist Robe. And you can take the Mist Robe as well. Okay, I think we're good on equipment for the time being. We'll probably get some more stuff in a little bit. But for now, let's look around some more. Hey, what's wrong? You have something to say? What a weird kid. What's wrong with him? The black winds howl. One among you will shortly perish. What? Hey! What do you mean? What? What's that supposed to mean? Hayden, that was kind of creepy. It's only a bad joke. Prophecy is completely unscientific. Definitely an interesting interaction there. I wonder what's in the Northern Shrine. No doubt the key to unlock its seals held at the palace, but entry there is strictly forbidden in the name of Her Majesty, the Queen. You can open up that book and it will discharge some wind. The Queen's palace sits at the heart of her kingdom. She watches over all the world from its high vantage point. It's because of that we can sleep our days away in peace. This is a font of recovery. Rest your weary-minded body within, traveler. So that is certainly very helpful. Just imagine getting to recharge your stamina completely just by walking on a tile on the ground. That is so good. I didn't mean to talk to you again. But yeah, definitely a pretty interesting area. Definitely has a more mystic feel compared to everything else that we have seen on our journey at this point. And the people around here seem to be accustomed to magic. So I believe this area is actually foreshadowed previously, where we heard Specchio mention that there used to exist a kingdom where magic used to thrive, but humanity lost that gift long ago. So yeah, definitely an interesting development here. So over here we can find the land bridge, which will warp us to another one of these facilities. So yep, the name of the game is using these teleporters in order to travel between the different areas here. And there's certainly a lot of different places that we can access using these skyways. And some of these areas we might want to return to at a later point. But what I would highly recommend doing is try to visit as many of these places as you can, and try to explore them thoroughly. Over here we can find Kajar, the place we heard about before. This is the magic city of Kajar. We perform research in the magical arts to help further Her Majesty's plans to deliver our kingdom even greater glory. Your power differs from ours. It's difficult to describe, but in you I sense a strange kindness. Over here we got another wind book. In ancient times, people crafted wondrous weapons and armor by combining shards of a rainbow-colored shell with the Sunstone's power. But now, only the Guru of Life knows the art of crafting such things. And even if others did, the Queen has ordered us to abandon use of the Sun's power. Such beauteous contentment there is in a newly blossomed bud. Would that I could be a flower. We got another font of recovery, if you need to use that. That's the Sun Temple, which you see on the Southern Sky Isle. The Sunstone, once our primary source of power, was enshrined there. However, the temple was sealed up along with the Northern Shrine once we turned to our new energy source. The Queen claimed we no need for the energy of the tired old sun. That's quite a shame. Because I know these days in our real world that solar energy is definitely considered a strong alternative to fossil fuels, which definitely used in abundance, but we could definitely do without nowadays. What tempest must rage in young Lord Janus's head? His only friend other than his sister is that cat that follows him about. We've been seeing a great deal of young Lord Janus lately. Before he scarcely showed his face, but now he paced around quite often, always looking upset. So I noticed that there was something. So you can grab a speed capsule from that spot. So we could see it twinkling up there at the top of that wall. So that was how I was able to find that. Alright, who could use some extra speed? Misty, you're a healer, so you could definitely use some more speed on you. Her Majesty Queen Zeal has 2 children, Lady Shala and young Lord Janus. Lady Shala is an incredible child with extraordinary magical powers. With such a gift, her life must be all ease and luxury. Getting some more lore to the people around here. I heard Lady Shala's power has far surpassed those of her mother. Then there's her brother, young Lord Janus. He's of royal blood as well, of course, but doesn't seem to have the faintest trace of magical ability. How unfortunate. I've been working to fashion a capsule that will enhance one's magical skill, but my precious products have been disappearing in recent days. It must be that naughty New that took them. They do so love pranks. He's no doubt hidden them all about. How can I work like this? Oh, that capsule's not been completed yet. Too bad, eh? So we can see there is indeed a New over here. He doesn't seem like he wants to talk. I heard a strange prophet's come to the palace. I do not know the details, but I heard he has powers most uncanny. Zeal's progress stems from a new energy source. Its power far surpasses that of the sun's elemental energy. The gurus of life, time, and reason dwell in Zeal. Their knowledge and skill is without equal. Pretty interesting to see New here in this time. We knew from our journey to prehistory that the News were around that time, and they managed to survive all this along and work in tandem with humanity. Know you this, traveler? The Moonstone could be restored to a glorious sunstone if left to bask in the sun's warm light. But such will require eons. None of us will ever witness that gorgeous glow again. Wonder what that might be about. A guru once told me that the Sunstone once held all the nearly infinite energy of our sun. Over time, that energy was slowly depleted, and it turned into the lightless Moonstone. Water summons wind, wind makes fire dance. So that guy is going to mention that. And that's something we're going to want to look into. So, around here we have these various books. They tell that water will summon wind and that wind summons fire. So, we want to remember that order around here. That's fire, so never mind. There's another new over here we can talk to. And it's another shop. We don't need anything from you, though. I have platinum armor, too, but I need Her Majesty's permission to sell it. Okay. My, you've an unusual aura. You must possess the gift, too. Yours seems very primitive compared to ours, though, you poor thing. Hey, I got my magic power from a god. What's your excuse? Now, these people have a biological affinity for magic, so I guess that makes sense. The structure you can see deep beneath the waves below is the Ocean Palace, a symbol of our queen's greatness. The palace is the beacon of light, which will guide us to a brighter future. All praise the great and wondrous queen's zeal. The Earthbound ones are being allowed to work on the construction of the Ocean Palace. It seems even they have their purpose. The construction of the Ocean Palace has fallen behind schedule. An everlasting palace beneath the waves. It'll be a sight to see when it's finished. Behold, that out the window is the great blackbird built by Belphazar, the guru of reason. To see it soar across the sky, you'd think it alive. The guru is a genius. Can you hear a bit about the various gurus as well? How is it that we came to have the powers we do? Why do some possess the gift while others lack it? It is a conundrum. Very interesting. So it seems not everyone in the Kingdom of Zeal is attuned to magic. Alright, so we hit the water book, the wind book, then we hit the fire book. And that causes this to open. Obtain an unidentifiable object. But inside is a black gemstone. Oh. It all began eons ago when man's ancestors stumbled upon a shard of a strange red rock. Its power was beyond human comprehension. It cultivated dreams and gave birth to love and hate. Only time will tell how it ends. So certainly an interesting bit of information we're getting there. But yeah, we picked up a new item here, the Black Gemstone, which is an accessory. Enables Eternal Darkness triple tech. Now, this is an item we're not going to be seeing any use for a while, but I do want to make note that this is here because it will be important. Those lacking magic are known as the Earthbound ones. They've always lived beneath the clouds. It's only fitting. After all, they lack our talents. So you can see that even in this far-off future, prejudice is still around. As long as one person has one advantage over another, they will seek to exploit it for their own benefit. It's certainly a very cruel way of looking at things. I don't particularly subscribe to that train of thought myself. So I think the people that have these advantages would be able to use their powers to help facilitate those that don't. But anyway, I want to head back to Enhasa, as now that we have the knowledge that these spell books need to be opened in a certain order, I want to see if we can do something like that here. As I believe we are able to do something. Alright, that's the water book. Then we have the wind book over here. And then down here is the fire book. And that opens up yet another secret hideaway. Oh, look, anew. The Guru of Reason is gone. Do you want to challenge me? Sure. Alright, prepare yourselves. So we got ourselves a little trial here. We got ourselves a new that we need to take care of. So I believe he is going to disguise himself among this group of new. And we just have to try and take him out. So of course we do have to watch out because these guys will be striking us down to 1 HP every once in a while. Alright, you can do that, and... You know what, Luca, you can heal yourself. Ow. So yeah, this part is definitely tricky. So news can be very rough. Yeah, counterattack that guy. Oh, Chrono's down. Okay, you will heal up Luca, and then... Gotta revive our boy. Yeah, this can definitely be a very tricky part. The news can just easily steamroll at you if you're not careful here. Alright, we need to do an aura whirl to heal up everybody. And... Luca, you use napalm on those guys. As long as we have some HP, we shouldn't have to worry too much. But, yeah, this part is pretty weird. Ow. Oh, this is bad. This is real bad. Took us all out. Weaklings. New. I got my butt kicked. Luckily, you do not die after he beats you, and you're able to fully heal yourselves. But yeah, that is really rough. The Mystery of Life, Volume 841, Chapter 26. All life begins and ends with new. This is the undeniable truth because I believe it to be so. At least for the present. Alright, for these guys, I'm thinking we need someone who can do group healing with us. So Misty, let's switch you out for... I think Frog is going to be slightly faster, so let's bring you in and see if we're able to beat these guys down. So yeah, this is a very rough battle, but if you are persistent, you should be able to handle this. Alright, let's test out an aerial strike with Frog. So that does a very high physical damage to opponents. So I believe we learned that in the last session, but didn't actually get a chance to show it off. Alright, Frog, you heal us up. As long as we attack these guys in groups, we should be fine. Just keep your HP up, and we should be good. Alright, we took out that guy. It's only a couple more to go. But yeah, definitely pretty interesting how these guys have survived through multiple eras. It's definitely a very unusual race of guys. Wow, we're really taking a beating here, so gotta revive you, and then Ward will heal everyone up. Yeah, Yeah, this is a very tricky battle if you're not prepared for it. Oh, gods. Okay, why can we not attack all three of those guys up there? That's so weird. Alright, you cast heal, and you cast napalm. We can take out as many groups of these guys as we can. We should be fine. Also, the guys at the bottom are definitely pretty weak, so we can focus on them pretty soon. Ow. Stop that. I do not subscribe to what you guys are selling. Great, Chrono's dead again. So gonna need Luca to revive you, and then have Frog cast heal again. God, this is so rough. Ow. Ow. Alright, we'll do another cyclone. You heal everyone up. You napalm. Alright, that takes care of those two. Alright, things are getting a bit easier now. Ow, just got 3 of these guys to deal with. Take that. Ow. Alright, let's do Wind Slash on you. Wart, heal up everyone, and Luke, I guess you can just do a flamethrower. So I believe the guys down here are going to be pretty low on health. So how about we focus on them for a bit? Ha! Ooh, very good. Now we just got 2 left. Given all the trouble we've been having with these guys, the reward for doing this had better be good. Blech. There we go. We beat all the new. And we gotta level up on Wart and learn Red Needle Dual Attack. You're strong. Take this. We obtain a magic capsule and a speed capsule. No. And there he goes. Okay, I guess that was pretty worth it. I mean, definitely gonna appreciate some stat-boosting items. So that new tech we learned, I believe that's a combination of both Wart and Luca. So yep, that is a fire attack, combining the aerial strike with fire magic. Definitely pretty nice. Okay, let's bring you back into the party. Okay, I got really distracted by what we were doing there, but thankfully we got ourselves some nice swag by clearing up that battle. Let's give magic to... Yeah, Chrono could use more magic for his lightning power. And then speed capsule... We'll go to Misty since she's our main healer. Alright, so that should be everything we can do in that area for the time being, so... How's about we keep exploring this land? So while we're just doing some backtracking, I thought that I could talk a bit about how things have been going. So thankfully, it's been a nicer day today than it's been last week, because my region has been experiencing some wildfires the last couple of days. And I went out and I got myself some ramen at my favorite Japanese restaurant I like to visit, and that was very good. But anyway, we got ourselves a new area here. the Blackbird. Why are you here? All is well with the Blackbird, I presume.
She is fully operational, Lord Dalton.
Of course she is, you blundering idiot. Were she not, we'd all be in trouble. You! What are you doing there? Those clothes. You must be the ones the prophet said would come to interfere. I think I shall watch for the time being and see how he plays his hand. Not that I suspect he'll tip his cards so easily. Ha!
Oh boy, this guy. I definitely have some words to say about Dalton, but I'm gonna save that for later. So there's not much we can do with the Blackbird for the time being. And I believe we've already seen everything we could do in Kajar. And, yep, we're all healed up, so we should be good to go. So through the caves over here, we should be able to venture further. And at the very end here, we of course have Zeal Palace. This is the Queen's Palace in the center of the magic kingdom of Zeal, which is to say, this is the center of the universe. Everyone thinks their place is the center of the universe. The source of our energy rests deep below the sea. Once its exact location was determined, we began constructing the Ocean Palace there. The portal to the Ocean Palace is in Her Majesty's audience chamber. Mind you, it hasn't been completed yet. That wandering prophet is amazing! Every prophecy to escape his lips has come to pass. It's as though he already knows the events to come. Unnerving, is it not? My, what strange clothes. Must be travelers from afar. So yep, the font of recovery, we know well enough. Do you like plants, traveler? Yes, I do. Oh, I love them too. But the Queen ordered me to burn this tiny sapling I received from the Guru of Life. He said it was a special tree with powers to restore the earth. Oh, what shall I do? You should grow it in secret. You're right. Queen's orders though they may be, it wouldn't do to burn a gift from the Guru of Life. Very well then. I'll care for it somewhere safe and secret. Someday, it just may help someone else who loves the earth and trees. That's good to hear. Hope you look after that thing.
Oh, itchy. Could you scratch my back?
Sure.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, right there. You got it.
Ah.
Woo! Thank you.
Discovered the new scratching spot. Oh, so that is gonna open as something for us to do, now that we managed to accomplish that.
Even Balthazar, who designed the Blackbird in the Ocean Palace, has vanished.
How strange that the three gurus who guided Zeal to its present glory have all disappeared at once. They say that Gaspar, the Guru of Time, continues his work on some deserted island. He strives to make a time egg or some such nonsense, but no one's seen him for years.
This way leads to the Mammon Machine Chamber.
So we're not going to worry about that for the time being. Just want to look around this area pretty thoroughly before we go forward. The Queen's two children, Lady Shala and Lord Janus, get along so well. If only young Lord Janus would open up to others. That pendant of yours, it looks like Lady Shala's, but it doesn't glow like hers. Interesting. We never really did find out much about the pendant that Marl has that started this whole journey.
That man appeared only recently, but he earned the Queen's trust quickly with his startlingly accurate predictions. His origins are mystery. He's not one of us enlightened ones, but nor is he an earthbound one. From where could such a man have come?
Very mysterious indeed.
Were you aware that Balthazar, the Guru of Reason, maintains secret chambers in Anhasa and Kajar?
So I might have already figured out those locations.
You do best to speak to the Queen or the Gurus if you wish to learn of the Mammon Machine and the Ocean Palace. But just between you and I not place much faith in any answers Her Majesty gave you right now. She's been different as of late. Different in what respects? The Queen's Council, Lord Dalton, was in charge of the Ocean Palace's construction until a wandering prophet arrived and took over. Lord Dalton's in a foul mood these days. Best avoid him if you can. The completion of the Ocean Palace will secure everlasting glory for the Kingdom of Zeal. There will be no more fear or sadness, only eternal peace. Starting to sound a little culty, doesn't it? The Queen must have borne a great deal of pain and sorrow in silence. Progress requires equal sacrifice. Much must have been given to allow Zeal to attain the glory it now knows. This way will take you to the bedchambers. If we go over here, we got some familiar faces. Beings that are born of dreams must always return to them in the end, but at times people's dreams and prayers call upon the power of Lavos and are made reality. Hold on, did she say Lavos? Huh. I wonder how the Guru of Life is doing. What are we supposed to do without him? Humans, I tell you. I want to be the wind, Masa. Oh, you will someday, if you try hard enough. Our big sister Doreen went to Anhasa again. Yeah, she likes to dream. I like the wind better than dreams. Whoosh! So these two are indeed Masa and Mune. Only versions of them from the distant past. The mystery continues to deepen, doesn't it? This way leads to the Queen's audience chamber. Listen to me, the Earth is alive, and always has been. She changes slowly so you never see it. From flat lands into mountains, from mountains into seas. A way may someday open even to the Forbidden Shrine in the north, or to the Sun Temple, but it could take untold years. So we've been hearing a lot about these areas, but there doesn't appear to be any easy way for us to get to them at the moment. So perhaps one day we'll be able to access them in some other areas. Now you're probably wondering what we are doing right now by backtracking. So now that we have learned the secret scratching spot for the new, I actually want to go back to Kajar, as we now have an interaction we can do with a certain new that wasn't speaking to us. So now we talk to this guy. Scratch, scratch. Oh! Scratch, scratch. Woo! Scratch, scratch. Tee-hee! Blech. Obtain a magic capsule. So apparently this guy had a capsule on him the whole time. And yeah, you can just scratch him again if you want. Doesn't do anything. But that is very nice. So we'll give that to Chrono to give you some additional power. And before we go any farther, I am just going to go away for the computer just for a brief moment. So I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, I am back. Sorry about that delay. I actually forgot to have a drink on standby, which I usually have on my streams because I tend to do a lot of yapping. So I just had to go and grab a glass of water. I'm all good now. So now that we have taken care of all that, we should be good to head to the Palace of the Queen and explore it even more thoroughly. It's very weird that we cannot reach that spot from there. I don't know, it's still a very impressive looking area. It's just, it can be tricky to navigate around these parts. So if we try to go forward into the Queen's chambers, Her Majesty said she had business at the Ocean Palace. None may pass until her return. That door cannot be opened from the outside, save with a powerful magic key like Lady Shala's pendant. We got a door blocking our way forward. So how about we go check in here and see what we can find? Lady Shala's pendant was made from the same red stone as the Mammon machine. When she prays to the device, the pendant glows with an unearthly light. This isn't the first time we heard about this Mammon machine. So may want to watch out for that later. Shala! Oh, Janice, you've returned. Is something wrong? The black winds. You feel the foreboding too. Don't worry. It will be all right. Here, keep this close. What is it? It's an amulet containing my prayers. If something should happen, it will keep you safe. I wish I could remain with you always, but Mother has other plans. That's not our mother! She looks like her, but she's not the same inside. Even still, forgive me, Janice. Pardons, Your Highness. The Queen requests your immediate presence at the Ocean Palace. Very well. Well then, Janice, I must be on my way. Oh, who might you be? Forgive me, my lady, but we must hurry. If we're late, I fear I'll be... well, you know the Queen. Of course. My apologies. Go away. It's a very interesting interaction with the siblings here. Don't waste your time. Alphador only likes me. We definitely see that things are getting pretty tense around here. So we follow after Shala. She used a pendant to open the door. We have a pendant too. It won't budge. There must be something different about that pendant. So we're not going to progress forward unless we're able to do something about that. But we did hear that there is something that could be useful to us. The prophet's aura is clouded with hatred and sorrow. If he does not free himself of those emotions, he'll destroy himself and those he loves along with him. Beyond lies the Mammon machine chamber. You can feel the glorious energy of Lavos surging from it. The Mammon machine? You came to see it? Sure. I thought as much. Can you feel the flow of the mighty Lavos' power? Oh, it brings tears to my eyes. This is the font of Zeal's power, the Mammon machine. It draws and magnifies the limitless power of Lavos. Oh, that pendant! It looks just like Lady Shala's. When she clutches her pendant and prays to the Mammon machine, the pendant radiates a strange light. It's almost as if it was speaking to the device in a language only the two of them could understand. If the Mammon machine is moved to the Ocean Palace, we can extract even more energy from Lavos. The dream of eternal life will be made possible. Oh, Almighty Queen, our kingdom will reign for all eternity.
Operating the Mammon machine requires magic powerful enough to regulate the energy the machine extracts. Excepting the gurus, Lady Shala is the only one with such power.
The Free Gurus constructed the Mammon machine from a reddish stone that's been kept in the royal treasury for generations. The Guru of Life, Melchior, was in charge of the plans and conducted a great deal of research on the nature of Lavos. But now, well, I'm sure you know the rest.
Melchior?
He's referring to the blacksmith that we saw living by Medina. How interesting. Melchior, the Guru of Life, opposed the Queen's plans and disappeared shortly thereafter. It pains me to consider some conspiracy maybe at work, but it is terribly suspicious. When the Mammon machine was finished, the Queen became a different person almost overnight. A much colder one. Just between us, I hear that any who oppose Her Majesty, and not just the Earthbound ones, vanish and are never heard from again. It's definitely a pretty ominous statement there. But yep, this is the Mammon machine, the source of the Kingdom of Zeal's power that extracts the energy from within Lavos, deep within the planet. So the Mammon machine is named after the demon Mammon, which is said to represent the sin of greed, which is definitely a very fitting name, given that this thing bestowed so much power to this kingdom, and it seems like the Queen has been corrupted by that very same energy, and now craves to control more of it, which is why they've been constructing the Ocean Palace in the hopes of being able to extract even more energy from Lavos. So things around here definitely aren't as nice as we saw in some of the other areas. But we can bring our pendant to the Mammon machine, and we can charge it with energy. So you can probably guess what we're going to do with our pendant now that it has been energized. So we take it back to the door.
We did it! Haha, no door can bar the way of scientific progress.
So it definitely makes you wonder. Marl's pendant was the entire reason our journey started in the first place, as it interacting with Luca's telepod opened up the time gate that sent us back to the Middle Ages. And that very same pendant was loaded with energy from the Mammon machine here in the year 12,000 BC. So yep, everything ties together with Lavos. Our journey started here because of the energy extracted from it in this time. But let us go forward.
Who are you? How did you get in here?
Your Majesty, these are the bringers of disaster of whom I spoke.
Indeed, they and the gurus alike. How dare you outlanders attempt to oppose me? Fools, one and all! Dalton, seize them!
Yes, Your Majesty, with pleasure. Golem! We got ourselves a fight on our hands. One that I would not expect you to be able to beat your first time. Golem here is really nasty. What I would recommend doing against this guy is strike at it with elemental attacks. So the Golem is unique in that it will harness the power of the attacks dealt to it. So I would recommend using magical attacks above all else against this thing. Otherwise, things can get really nasty. I believe that a combo attack should be fine to use here. So let's go with Ice Sword. So yeah, I highly recommend that you go with magic when fighting this guy, because attacking it with melee attacks can be really bad in some circumstances. Use your healer to keep your party at a good amount of health, keep striking at it, and it should eventually go down. But yeah, this thing is really rough if you're not prepared for it. It can also do big attacks like that. Let's go for Fire Sword. And then we'll cast Ice. It's also a fight where I could recommend casting Haste on the party to get more chances to attack. But I'm not too concerned about that at the moment. Alright, let's go for Ice Sword. Yeah, we're actually doing really well against this guy. Its elemental attacks really aren't that bad compared to what it's able to do physically. So as long as we just keep up the damage with magic, we should be good. Ow. But don't worry, it's a little fire, but we can handle that. You can cast Aura on yourself. Do need to make sure the party is good and healthy, but besides that, we should be fine. Ha! Trying to think about other things we could discuss at the moment, but just considering that everything that we have been through the last couple of weeks in my region specifically, it's definitely been pretty stressful, but I'm thankfully happy because I got quite a couple days off this week. So we should be able to do at least 2 streams this week, and then I plan to take 2 extra days just to have time for myself. But with that, we managed to take out the golem. Oh, my poor golem! You'll pay for that! Uh-oh. Fear not. I won't kill you. Not immediately, that is. I'll allow you to sample every type of pain and fear imaginable first. By the time we're through, you'll be begging us to end your suffering. Ah, what a delicious diversion. So the battle against the golem is a battle that you're actually able to lose, and it still progresses the story to this point. The golem knocks your party out, and then you get captured. If you manage to beat it, then Dalton will imprison you anyway. Idiots! What will you do, Shala? Let us help them. I don't think it'll be of any use, and you'll be in trouble if you let them escape. Don't worry about me, I'll be fine. And they just might be able to rescue Melchior. Are you alright? Quickly, you must flee the palace. And if you can, please, free the Guru of Life. He was sent to the Mountain of Woe for opposing my mother's plan. Please, you must help him. I'm afraid I cannot allow that. Your meddling tires me. It seems I'll need to put an end to you here. No, you mustn't! Don't! Very well. I'll spare their lives. But in return, you'll cooperate with me, Shala. Now, show me how it is you came here. So you came through here. Now, Shala, once I throw them in, you will seal the portal shut.
No! You can't make me!
You will obey me. Their lives are at stake.
Very well. Please forgive me.
Well, that's not good.
Why did the prophet let us go? The key to defeating Lavos must lie in that period. Wait a minute. The design for the door that pendant open. I've seen it in other places.
A curious crest is engraved here, and a mysterious force seals it shut.
Let's check it out, Hayden!
So yeah, definitely an interesting development. Under the Prophet's orders, Shala has now sealed our only way into the age of the Kingdom of Zeal. But, thanks to our interaction with the Mammon Machine, our pendant is now charged with power, and we can exploit that fact to access some areas that were previously unavailable to us. So yeah, that is certainly nice. Whew, we did a pretty good battle against that golem there. Like I said before, you can and lose the fight, but still progress through the story. But it always feels good to actually manage to take it out. But now that we handled that, we are going to need it to return. Happy water all gone before never happen.
Find strange rock, but feel icky when touched, so throw away.
Less monster, now cold. Less game too.
Ah boy, we're already getting to see a bit of a change to this area now that Lavos has destroyed the reptites.
Cold.
Ayla quit chief, now Kino chief.
Big fire, Lavos fall, now get cold.
So already the Ice Age is starting to creep in. So we can rest over here in the chief's hut. It's like, don't worry, we don't need the happy water. And that should fully heal us. Yep. Hey, Kino, you come see Kino. Take time rest. Don't worry, buddy, we got other priorities to take care of, but we'll see you again pretty soon. Just want to check our abilities here. Alright, we're getting close to something that'd be a good power-up there. But yep, our journey here has definitely hit a very interesting stopping point. We gotta return to the Kingdom of Zeal in order to save Melchior. But in order to do that, we need to find a way to return to that time without using the portal that was sealed by Shala. So this is definitely a very interesting turning point here. Having to find an alternate means of being able to access an era now that our main way of getting there has been closed off. Definitely really like the developments we've been having recently. This game has definitely been playing with our expectations so far. We had a pretty easy way of being able to traverse some of the other eras. But at this point, getting back to Zeal is going to be tricky. But at the very least, we have the key to be able to access it. And after jumping through this time rift, we wind up back here. So now the time portals leading to the remains of the Tyranno lair, as well as the Kingdom of Zeal, are now closed off. We can no longer access them from the end of time. So that's definitely a bit of a downer. So what are we to do? Well, we at least know of one era that is implied to be something we can do. And at this point, things have opened up considerably, where we are now able to do things with our pendant that we weren't able to do previously. However, for the time being, I think we're going to focus on heading back into the future, considering what we have available to us at the moment. So we only have one portal to the future open to us, so we're going to be heading to Protodome. It's definitely been a while since we've been around to the future, hasn't it? This area was definitely pretty interesting in our first visit, and not much has really changed. It's still a desolate wasteland destroyed by Lavos. It's just crazy to think of just all of the destruction this monstrosity has caused over the ages. It merely arriving on the planet wiped out the dinosaurs and ended their civilization that they had. And then we find out that it was tied to the Kingdom of Zeal, and how the people of that age were harnessing the power of Lavos for their own ends. And then, of course, we heard that Magus, the Fiend Lord in the Middle Ages, had planned to harness the power of Lavos for his own means. But we were able to take care of that before he could actually summon the beast. And that we hadn't really heard much about Lavos having any effect on things in our time, but we do know that 1,000 years after the Millennial Fair, our world would be destroyed by Lavos. So yeah, definitely a lot of pretty interesting ways we are seeing the various places we visited being linked to Lavos and the destruction that it has caused. Definitely makes you wonder if that's the reason that we were able to travel to all these different eras. We are going to specific times that are connected to Lavos. And perhaps we'll figure out why that is a bit later. But for now, we got some more fights to take care of. So of course, now that we're here in the future, we got a ton of areas that we are going to want to visit now that we have our upgraded pendant. So we got at least 4 areas I believe we can visit here. Oh, hey, Johnny. And we'll definitely want to check around these areas as much as we can. So the abandoned sewers, we're going to want to head there in a little bit. But for now, let's return to Aristome. It's definitely been a while since we've seen the people that have been hiding out here. So it'd be good to get a check-in with them. Hey, you're back! Don't worry, I won't give up. I have this child to raise, and that sapling. Hi, Doan.
Oh, it's you! Look, the seed sprouted!
Aw, that's good to hear. Wonder what kind of fruit that thing will bear. Since you've come, everyone seems to have regained their will to survive. It appears your energy is contagious. You can reach the continent to the south of the sewers, but I wouldn't advise it. But yep, I want to head back here, as there is something available to us in Aristome. Now that we have our upgraded pendant, though, I don't believe we're going to reach it from here. We can check the shop around here, but yeah, nothing around here is going to be all that helpful to us. I mean, I guess we could buy a shelter. You know, just to help out the people here, you know. But yeah, like I said, there's a ton of stuff that is now available to us around here. So it'd be a good idea to check around the various domes you can access around the bleak future to see just what you're able to get. So I definitely recall there should be something good around here. You know what? The enemies around here are going to be pretty weak. We can just use our regular attacks. It's definitely been a while since we were last in the future, and we are more than twice as strong as we were before. So, yeah, we should be good. These guys are small fry compared to what we've been fighting. Like, that golem alone could have easily wiped us out. And then we fought Masamune, we fought Azala and the Black Tyranno, we fought Magus. There's so much that we were able to do. Yep, in this room, I believe, should be something we want to try to get. Let's go one of these vermin-killing robots. Easily want to take care of that. Then we'll take out the small rats. Who knows? Maybe there'll be a giant rat that makes all the rules around here. And if we head over here, look what we got. The pendant begins to glow. There is one of these doors that we're now able to access. And the center of the room, you can pick up a strength capsule. Very nice. So now we can obtain a luminous robe, an elixir, an acuity ring, and a golden earring. So that is some very nice swag we just picked up. So golden earring boosts max HP by 50%. So that is definitely a really good item. We'll want to hold on to that. And Acuity Ring increases accuracy. Could be very handy, though I don't really see a use for it at the moment. Then we also picked up the Elixir. So that fully restores HP and MP. So it's basically a maxed out potion and a maxed out ether all in one. Definitely a very good item to have. So give this strength capsule. Yeah, we need strength above all else, so we'll go ahead and take that. And then Luminous Robe, I believe, is something for the girls to wear. So this increases defense and magic defense, so that's going to be a very good upgrade. We'll go ahead and give that to Misty, since she's one of our main fighters in our party. That'll definitely be a good upgrade. So while we are heading back to the exit of Eris Dome, what is something else we can talk about? So very recently, I've been getting back into playing Minecraft, and very recently, like yesterday morning, I actually managed to find the dungeon that you're able to find in some areas, which is pretty important because the dungeon is tied to getting the ending of the game, basically, where the dungeon houses the portal that takes you to where you would face the final boss of the quote-unquote story mode in Minecraft. And I was very happy to finally manage to track that down, especially because the way you're able to track that thing is just so weird compared to like other things you're able to do in the game. Like, it requires a very esoteric method of being able to track where the portal is located, but I eventually managed to get it, and thankfully it's not too far off from where I set my base in that game, so it's definitely pretty handy that we were able to do that. Anyway, now that we have done with Eris Dome, managing to plunder everything we can possibly get there, we need to head through Site 16 so we can access some more domes. As there's some new things around here that'll be very handy for us. And, of course, we got more of these mutant freaks we gotta deal with. Shouldn't be too much trouble dealing with these guys at this point in the story. Since we are so well equipped now, we can easily handle anything that these areas are gonna throw at us. Also, if you haven't taken care of it at this point, now would be a good time to go through the abandoned sewers. I previously went through there much earlier on in the game because it was available to us. We were able to get some good experience by going there, you know? So that was all well and good. But yeah, we'll be heading back over to the sewers in a bit. But for now, I just want to make our way through this area and try to explore some of the other domes that are available to us. With these guys, of course, you want to attack them with magic, which we've got plenty of options at this point, especially since we got lightning too, which will easily devastate these guys. Very good. And it's the point we need to go around here. So where exactly do we need to... Oh, I think it's over here, actually. Yeah, it's been a while since we've been in these areas, so of course I would get a little discombobulated. But yeah, speaking of Minecraft, since I have been playing this game again, I have also been watching a couple of videos that were done by the crew at Achievement Hunter way back in the day, where they were doing a playthrough of the... when they were doing their Minecraft videos way back in the day, and there's one particular series of videos I really got a kick out of, you know, where it was basically the... No, where it was basically the Achievement Hunter crew were playing a specific game type of Minecraft, where they were playing what's called a You Dead challenge, where all the crew is playing on a hardcore map, where, for those of you who don't know, a hardcore map is one where if you are killed at all during that battle, at all in that game, then you are unable to return to that map. So it is definitely a very interesting method of playing for the game, where you want to challenge yourself to get through it without dying once. It's definitely a pretty interesting challenge, and I am certainly not going to be trying anything like that anytime soon. But it's definitely pretty interesting seeing the ways that they were going through all that. So now we can return to the Banger Dome, which, for those that do not recall, was how we initially accessed the future in the first place. And by doing that, we've now opened up a time rift, not only to the Banger Dome, but also to, if we can access it here, Guardia Forest in 1000 AD. So yet, we've now been able to come full circle and unlock those portals again. Very nice. But we're going to want to head back into the Banger Dome, as it was pretty evident when we were just in there. But there is something that we're able to do here. We got this door here that was previously closed, and now we're able to finally open it, getting an alluring top, a high ether, and a workman's wallet. So those are going to be some pretty interesting things. So the alluring top, so I believe that's going to be armor exclusive to... not you. Okay, that is what it is. It's an accessory. So I believe that's an accessory that... yeah, it's exclusive to Ayla. So the alluring top boosts the success rate of Charm, which is currently a tech we don't have on Ayla at the moment, but I would recommend getting that on her, as it is a very good one. And then the Workman's Wallet turns experience into G. So that enables you to grind on enemies in order to get a ton of money in exchange for not getting experience. Could be pretty useful later on, though I don't really see much of a need for it. Who knows, there might be a point where I want to do a bit of grinding off stream, depending on how things go. Alright, but the next thing I want to take care of, now that we've gotten all that, we can leave the Banger Dome now, that we've taken care of that. And we want to head over here to the Tran Dome, as this area also has something we're going to need. Got any cash? Again, there's not much that we desperately need to buy over here, but we'll buy a shelter, because why not? And if we head over here, so, there's still people in Eris Dome too. What's this? A plant, you say? What's a plant? It's strange. Looking at that thing makes me want to keep on living. I've never seen a thing like this before. That thing edible? I made it through the ruins with a cutting from the sapling that grew from that seed. Amazing what you can do when you think you're dead anyway. So it seems that the people in the future have already started to cultivate what little plants that they have available and are starting to bring them to the other domes in order to help out other people. It's definitely very nice to see. Shows that our actions here are making a difference and that people are gonna get better from this. Ooh, there's something hidden there. We get a magic capsule. So we'll probably give that to Chrono. Yep, you need more magic. Sorry, ladies. We'll power you girls up eventually. We get a golden stud there and a high ether. Now the golden stud, so that is an item that reduces MP consumption by 75%. Now that is an item I would definitely recommend using for some of the later encounters. We're not going to worry too much about that at the moment, but it could certainly be useful, especially in late game. I can definitely name a couple battles where those items are going to be pretty helpful. So basically, that's an upgraded version of the silver stud, which we had previously acquired. So that is very nice. But with that, we've managed to access all the optional things we're able to do here in the future. Now that we have managed to gain our upgraded pendant. So now it's time for us to finally make some more story progress. And for that, we're going to need to head through the abandoned sewers. It's going to take us a while to get over there, so I'll definitely think of some other things to talk about. So, a while ago, my friend Master Starman has been streaming a couple of the Mega Man games, and I'm definitely thinking about returning to that particular series, especially on this channel. Like, earlier this year, I did do a playthrough of Mega Man X, and I would certainly like to play more games from that series, because I definitely have a lot of appreciation for Mega Man, especially in this day and age, as I hadn't previously played any of the Mega Man games when I was younger. It was only around my teen and adult years where I actually really got into those games and that series. But yeah, it's been fun. I definitely want to try to revisit those particular games. And he's also been doing a playthrough of New Super Mario Bros., which I've been enjoying watching him play that for the last couple of weeks, as I used to have that game when I was younger, and just kind of getting to see it again in hindsight, definitely pretty fun to see. Although I do still wish I had that particular game. I still have a couple of the DS games I had as a kid, but most of them that I had, I traded in when I felt like I didn't really want to play them anymore. Which is a shame, because a lot of them were pretty good. Like, one of the earliest DS games I had was a game that was based on Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, and that game was pretty darn fun. It was basically like a mix of like the beat-em-up gameplay style you'd see in a game like Streets of Rage, and also had some starship piloting missions that definitely called to mind games like Star Fox, which I thought was pretty interesting. Looking back on it, yeah, I had a lot of fun with that game when I was younger. And also the Revenge of the Sith game on the PlayStation 2. Like, that particular movie led to some pretty good video game adaptations, I want to say. I had so much fun playing those as a kid. And also, tangentially speaking, I also had Star Wars Battlefront 2 when I was younger. That game was also really incredible. Just really immersed me in the world of Star Wars. And also feels nice to say that a couple of weeks ago, I actually revisited the classic Star Wars movies from way back. Specifically episode 4, 5, and 6. I did want to grab some DVDs for the prequel and the sequel trilogy, but I know what happened, but it seems like Walmart doesn't currently have those in stock at the moment, which is a shame, because I do really like the Star Wars franchise, and I want to get a chance to revisit some films I really liked when I was younger, and also get a chance to finally watch the sequel trilogy, because I actually did not watch those in theaters. But yeah, I feel like it would be pretty interesting for us to actually get a chance to revisit that series a bit later. There is also some Star Wars games that I feel would be pretty neat to play here on the channel, but yeah, there's definitely some issues with regards to experiencing those games. Hey, buddy. The final instruction sequence the Wise One programmed into me was for his burial. Now I can join him in his eternal rest. But first, I'm certain there was one more task I was ordered to complete. Something about the seats? Memory error, I forget. Oh, come on. So, if we look around here, we can see that the old man who was in this area is now gone. We missed out on getting to see what became of him before he was inevitably died and buried by this new. But there is a door we can open using our pendant. So let us go forward. Huh? You who have opened the door, I am Belphazar, the Guru of Reason, and formerly of the Kingdom of Zeal. I was cast into this era by a great disaster which befell our land. Much to my surprise, I have learned that the creature Lavos was not a product of our age. Far from it. It seems that the being fell from the sky in a bygone age, burrowing deep into the planet's core. There he began to feed upon its energy, growing ever stronger. So we got ourselves data logs left by Belphazar, the Guru of Reason who was cast into the far-off future. Lavos' form was revealed briefly when he was summoned forth by a mighty wizard by the name of Magus in the year 600. In the year 1999, Lavos emerged to claim the surface. Now he has taken the place I've named Death Peak as his throne, or nest, as it may well be. His miniature spawn now flow from the mountaintop, an avalanche of death. Lavos is a parasite of gargantuan proportions, whose host is the planet itself. Trapped here, I endeavored to continue my study and observation of Lavos, but I believe the end draws near. Maintaining one's sanity is an endeavor in and of itself in an age such as this, an endeavor I fear may be futile. So before my mind is lost forever, I've decided to leave these recordings of my knowledge behind, along with my greatest invention. Ever did I long to return home and toil endlessly in search of a way, but as I neared the completion of my research, so did I near the end of my days. I've grown old and frail, and so I leave it in your hands, you who have opened the way. Take hold the reins of time, and let all the people of this planet's past and future join as one. Then, only then, you just may be able to stop Lavos. You have little chance of success, but even a little chance is still a chance. You who have opened the door, the fate of the world is in your hands. Open now the final door and claim what awaits you. My last and greatest work, the Wings of Time. Let's open the final door. Would you look at this? This must be Balthazar's invention. Wow, this is amazing. Which end do you suppose is the front? I would assume it's that. So we try to leave. Hey, buddy.
Scared you, didn't I? It's me, Balthazar! I copied my memory into this thing. What do you think? Precious, isn't he?
Anyway, there's something I need to explain, namely, how to transcend time. Press X to display the time gauge, then select the era you wish to visit. Ah, yes!
Huh?
Before you go, why don't you give a name to my time machine? So now we got ourselves a time machine, basically. You're able to name it whatever you want. Its canon name is the Epic. And that's the name we're gonna go with here.
Well then, hop aboard!
Alright, let's hop in. So now that we have the time machine, we are now able to travel to every era that we have previously visited. So you go from prehistory, antiquity, which is 12,000 BC, the Middle Ages, the present day, the Cataclysm, which will send you right to the final battle against Lavos, the far-off future, and the end of time. So this is a very, very, very handy thing for us. No longer do we need to rely on the time gates. We can simply use the time machine to travel wherever we want. So how about we go... We could use this thing to head back into antiquity. However, I want to go back to the Middle Ages. For reasons. All right. With this baby, beating Lavos is gonna be a cinch. Eek! Interdimensional travel at warp speed. The Epic is capable of this? And like that, you're able to travel to different regions across time. And with that, we're able to return back here. And with that, that opens up a ton of stuff that's now available to us. But we are going to save what we're able to do next for the next session. We've definitely had a lot of things open up to us now, and believe it or not, there is still a ton of optional things that are available to us that I would love to do. But before we get started on all that, I feel like now is a good time to call it here. So thank you for joining me in this leg of the Chrono Trigger playthrough. Next time, we're going to take the Wings of Time in order to explore around the various eras we previously visited, gather all the new things that are available to us, and then we're going to return to the Kingdom of Zeal to put a stop to the Queen's mad plans once and for all. Until next time, have a good day, and take care.